President Trump has announced plans to impose a 10% extra tariff on any country aligning with what he calls anti-American policies of the BRICS group, which now includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and also newer members like Egypt, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, and the UAE. This moving part of his reciprocal tariff agenda kicks in after a 90-day tariff pause ends on July the 9th, and it aims to protect US industry and send a message to trade partners. Trump argues BRICS have increasingly supported stances that undermine US interests. He points to their condemnation versus US and Israeli strikes on Iran, which BRICS called a violation of international law, as well as their demands for a Palestinian state and the pullback of Israeli troops from Gaza, positions foreign ministries describe as harmful to US diplomatic objectives.
Absolutamente nada justifica as ações terroristas perpetradas pelo Hamas. Mas não podemos permanecer indiferentes ao genocídio praticado em Israel, por Israel em Gaza, e a matança indiscriminada de civis inocentes e o uso da fome como arma de guerra. A solução desse conflito só será possível com o fim da ocupação israelense e com o estabelecimento de um Estado palestino soberano dentro das fronteiras de 1967.
These are part of what he labels an anti-American policy. BRICS members have responded forcefully at their own summit in Rio de Janeiro, condemning tariffs as disruptive to global trade, criticizing US and Israeli strikes in the Middle East, and reaffirming support for a two-state Palestine solution. Their joint declaration warned against unilateral sanctions and calls for reform in global governance to reduce US dominance. They voiced grave concern over Gaza and condemned attacks on Iran, signaling a clear challenge to Washington's foreign policy. The treating tariff has sent markets tumbling. Emerging market currencies such as the South African rand and Indian rupee have slipped, while investors warn of global trade disruptions. Trump's team has explained that letters about the tariff will go out to potentially over 100 countries this week, giving them until August the 1st to settle new trade deals to avoid the levy. So far, only the UK and Vietnam have completed such agreements. Trump says he's protecting US jobs and demanding trade fairness. But BRICS leaders warn a tariff war could undermine global multilateralism and worsen supply chain pressures. US-India talks and discussions with Indonesia continue, but internal divisions within the BRICS, particularly between autocratic and democratic members, could make a unified response difficult. With the deadline imminent, the big question is whether Trump will follow through on the tariffs and if BRICS countries will concede, confront or counter through their own trade measures. Either way, this standoff over anti-American foreign policy, from the Middle East conflict to global governance, could shape the next phase of US global linkages. For more global issues explained, follow NewsX World.